Right, guys, we're here to do a tank review of the T43. And you're probably wondering, why am I looking at the Rudy if I'm doing a review of the T43? Well, I'm going to use the crew from the Rudy, and I'm going to put it into the T43 until I turn the T43 purple. Then it's going up to the T44, and then going into the T54. At each stage, then returning the original crew to the previous tank that they were in, and moving the Rudy crew up to the T54, and then after that they'll probably be going into as their main vehicle the T62A. So that's the progression to then bring the T62A online, as well as the object that I have running ready. So the Rudy will never have another crew. The only crew that will ever be back is the original crew of these amazing guys who've been in there forever. It's their tank, and no one will ever be in it. So let's do a comparison of the two tanks. Now, what did they do between the Tier 6 and the Tier 7? So let's have a look. They upped the hit points from 720 to 1100. The weight went up by approximately 2.5 tons. Engine power went up by 100 horsepower. Top speed dropped. Traverse speed was lower, and the armour went up from 45mm and 40mm respectively to 75mm. The turret front staying the same at 90, and the sides and rear went up to 90. The gun basically remained the same, with the rate of fire going up from 10 to 11.1, and the view range going up on the standard version 360, but the Rudy is 365 to 370. So, for all intents and purposes, it went up by 10 meters. Let's do a comparison of the statistics of the two vehicles. So, looking at the armour, so here we have the Rudy, the iconic, amazing tank that they drive. Let's compare it. Let's have a look at the armour profile. As we know, it's got the 45mm in the front, 90mm in the turret, and good tracks. Let's compare it directly to the T44. Now, it looks like the sloping isn't as good, but it's got 75mm of armour for an equivalent of approximately 100mm in the front. Still got that 90mm turret. Swapping over, looking at the T43, that 75mm makes an equivalent of about 95mm, and that's without even angling. Look at the turret, that's same area, but the sloping's been changed. Let's turn the armour off and have a look. So it looks very well sloped there. Let's compare it. It's all very nicely sloped. Commander's cupola quite large. T43, it's got a smaller cupola, a smaller target. The sides, it's got that 75mm, which is now very, very bouncy from these angles. Auto bounce from the side, and the equivalent of 110 going up to approximately 120mm. This area here is the equivalent of only about 80mm. So if you can get a hold down from there, hide this area, and the lower plate isn't actually so vulnerable, but it's that flat area there which is a bit of a problem on the T43. So let's look at some stats. Let's look at the firepower. So as we saw in the previous review of the T3485 to the Rudy version, you get the significant difference of the DPM of the Rudy, and you've got a similar thing in all aspects in comparison to the T43 as well. The main effect of the T43 was to bring in better armour and to slightly increase the power to weight ratio. So as you can see, the power has gone up from 500 to 600 on the T43. The specific power has gone up from 15.23 to 17.22, so almost 2 additional horsepower per tonne, so it's more mobile around the battlefield. Chassis traverse has dropped by 4, because of the extra armour, so it's slower traversing. And the forward speed, it's now 51 instead of the 54 that's on the Rudy. Reversing is the same. Terrain resistance, because of the extra weight, the T43 is worse than the Rudy by 0.115. So it could be noticeable, but then you've got the extra 2 horsepower per tonne. So we'll have a look and see if that negates that problem. And running the vehicle, the repair costs are up. So you're looking around about 11 to 12,000 for the T43, whereas for the Rudy it's only 5,400. Now here we go. The difference in hit points: 1,100 for the T43, and that's 720 for the Rudy. Ammo rack is 20 better on the T43. Turret ring 10 better. Fuel tank's the same. Engine is tougher by 115, so that's a significant difference. The tracks are better by 20, so anything is good. The gun better by 12, and the optics are better by 10. The radio is the same. Now the difference of that additional 30mm everywhere, and the 35 on the rear, is very, very good. The front of the turret is the same, but the sides are increased by 15 and 38mm respectively, which is very, very good. And there's a lower chance of actually being set on fire, so that's really good. So I'm going to equip the Rudy crew, get them into the T43, and we can see what it can do with this spectacular crew from the Rudy. So the Rudy's going to be having a little break, waiting for the boys to come back. And yep, I'm just going to move them over, and we shall have a look at the T43 with that crew in a minute. Right, the boys have been transferred. Before we go, I'll just show you the difference. We've got the elevation of gun depression 7 degrees and elevation 22 degrees, whereas the T43 has got 8 degrees and 26. So that could be a significant factor, hopefully. So we'll try and get hull down and see what we can do. So let's get straight into a game and show you what the T43 can do with this fantastic crew. Hey, that's how it goes. So it's making that difference when you've got not such a good team. This is better, so it's quite even. So when you're with a good team, it's all right. But when you've got a bad team, it balances the good times. So that's percentage of the 52, 53, 49, 48. That shows how good you are as a player. So the overall percentage does reflect your ability on the battleground. It is very true, and you come to see that over time, that's the actual position. So, okay, it's 1 FV. I'm thinking of pushing down to the circle and try and use the manoeuvrability of the tank to be able to help from there. There's the ubiquitous Cromwell B. So, yeah, let's see what we can do. I do like this map. It's quite good fun. I like what... oops, stop. Yeah, that's it. You rammed me. Oops. I just knew he was going to ram into me, so I thought, I'm not going to keep going. Poor little badger. I don't want to hurt a poor little pigeon, especially when it's not on our side. When it's on our side, it's not their fault, you know. Oh. Right. Where's that AMC? Where's it going? What? Is that a bot? 48%. 19,000 games, 48%. Let's get ready. Go to premium and to make sure the first shot counts, and then I know whether I can switch back to standard. We've got Tiger coming in. Let's see what else is there. Let's go and lay down some hurt. Let's go to standard. Yeah, Panther over there, is he going to be aiming this way?
Target acquired. They're knocked out. Enemy vehicle
Oh my God.
destroyed.
2 in a row.
Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy armor is destroyed. Enemy is hit. Penetration. Target acquired. Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy is hit. Enemy armor is damaged. Truck hit. We've lost some ammo, but at least it didn't explode. Enemy is hit. Where'd they go?
Badger, my kill. Oh well.
Penetration.
This is more of what you can do. Yeah. Let's wait for him to shoot the AMX.
Enemy armor is hit. Critical hit.
Tracked him. I couldn't go and get the right position. So yeah, that's it does work well when you're in the right matchup. It's quite a good average of what you can do. So let's have a look at the percentages and so 2,000 damage, almost 600 spotting. Those fantastic demolition experts. Oh, that was fun. 900 base experience, 14 shots, 13 hit, 12 pens. This is more of what you'd expect. Experience and credit earned 34,000, 1,400 base, well 950 base, up to 1,431, times 5, 7,155. Very, very nice. So that's this bad boy. Let's have a look at the stats for the T43 after 2 games. T43 is up at the top, so average damage 1,520 and a purple WN8 of 2,728. So yeah, it's a nice tank if you're in the right matchup. But that's 2 games, one which was a higher tier and your team fell over, and that last game which showed what it could really do. So yeah, it's a very competent tank, and it helps if you've got a nice crew in it as well. So yeah, and what I realised, the crew, its own crew went in. The Rudy's crew didn't go into it. So yeah, that could have been even better if the Rudy crew had been in there. So wow, so that might have made even more of a difference. So we'll see what happens in the next game with the Rudy crew. So see you soon. Thanks for being with me for the review. So let's see yes. So it's got good mobility, okay armor, accurate gun, good view range, up to 436, and that's with a standard crew. So yeah, with not a very good crew. So it's a competent tank, and that additional armor does make a difference. The additional gun depression and elevation makes it a very useful medium tank around the battlefield, and the additional power to weight ratio is the upgraded difference, along with the hit points between the tier 6 and the tier 7. So yeah, it's a very nice tank. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it and play it next time with the crew from the Rudy. So thanks for being along, and see you on the next one. Thanks guys.